So the next is our writing techniques, how to write using the best verbs and adjectives. Now, what is the best? It's the best that the student can come up with, right? We don't advise students to try to memorize very fancy phrases. The reason is this: as a PSLE marker, I can tell you that it is very obvious if the first paragraph has been memorized, right? So, you know, the sun's rays, cracked when shown through the cracks, right, of the clouds, and then the azure blue sky and so on. And then you read on the second paragraph, everything falls flat, back to normal. So this is not good writing. This is basically good memorization. So it doesn't contribute. If your child is, you find that your child may not be very good at expressing themselves, then get them to use it in everyday language. Get them to start using it normally, right? It shouldn't be moments of brilliance and then suddenly, you know, back down to earth, right? So sensory details, meaning, are there any ways that the child can describe using the 5 senses? What they see, what they hear, what they smell, what they touch, right? And then show, don't tell is something which I think, now we're all good at telling stories. But if we can tell stories by showing our readers that I was feeling anxious, so maybe I was pacing up and down, instead of saying that, you know, Dr. Chua was feeling very anxious, right? Maybe I was pacing up and down with a crease in my forehead, right? And then biting my nails, right? That kind of thing. So you won't have to tell your readers what this character is feeling, because they will know. These are body language, these are imagery, right? And our favorite, right, is writing slow motion climax, right? Very few students can do that well, but if they try, they get better at it, which is why we draft. Okay, so slow motion climax adds to the suspense. It also adds to the excitement. Then vary your sentence structures, meaning don't keep using the same words to start, right? John did this, John did that, then he decided to do this, then he decided to do that. It's monotonous. Unless you are trying to create an effect, then it should be done sparingly. But most of the time, I think students cannot help it. They will start the sentences in the same kind of routine manner. Now, to solve this, is super easy to solve this. Basically, just inject an adjective in front of the sentence. So, anxious, comma, John decided to run back to the room, right? Desperate to escape, comma, right? John jumped down from the ladder, right? So add a phrase before every sentence, and suddenly you have a very descriptive kind of start. So what kind of phrases? Thoughts or feelings. Thoughts or feelings, right? Very easy. So always add a thought or a feeling in front. It doesn't even have to be a very big word, right? Feeling scared, right? I mean, they can write that, right? Easily. So studying new paragraphs when introducing a new development in the story. I think most of our students can do paragraphing very well, except when it comes to dialogue. I always advise students, right? Every time a new speaker, you have 2 persons talking, every time the new speaker speaks, you must start a new paragraph. Go and check out all the storybooks that they have on the shelves. It is always a new paragraph when someone speaks. I tell them, it's not like you have to pay 50 cents for every new paragraph that you write. It's free. Create as many new paragraphs as you need for dialogue. Not for everything, but for dialogue, right? Because it's free, right? Then, of course, this big question, should we memorize good phrases, right? If it becomes yours, yes. If it's not yours, don't, because it's very awkward. It stands out and it doesn't help. So incorporate descriptive phrases into your writing naturally. How? By writing it. So some of my students ask me, how do I know if this feels awkward? My answer is, write it. If it feels awkward, I'll tell you. Okay, try. Because if you never try, you never know, right? So just go ahead and try something. Your teachers will tell you if it's well applied, right? And descriptive phrases should appear throughout your composition and not just at the beginning. And practicing the writing techniques and reading widely are highly recommended. So read so that that's input, so that you can then produce, right, your stories. Hi, this is Dr. Daniel Chua. I hope the video that you have just watched will be helpful to your child in preparation for PSLE English. So if you are interested to sign up for any of our programs, please feel free to check out this QR code, and then you can then find out more about what we do to help our students at Cognitus Academy. All right, thank you.